everyone has had their attention captured by a marketing ad that really just stood out from all the rest, that made you think, made you laugh, did something that really caught your attention and made you want to share it with other people because it was so good. What I want to show you today are 10 of the best marketing ads of all time that do exactly that, and break them down for you so that we can see why these ads worked so well, what are the key elements that make a great marketing ad, and just taking a look at some of the best ads to come out of companies over the last few decades. Starting out with number 1, we have Durex from 2010. Now this ad reads, "To all those who use our competitors' products, happy Father's Day." And Durex, if you don't know, is a condom company. And so this was a Father's Day ad that they actually used in 2010. And you can just see why this ad works so well. It's super simple, but it has the key elements in humor, because obviously if you use the competitors' products, what they're essentially alluding to here is that their products are inferior, break, and cause pregnancy versus their products that are much better and don't have any issues that may cause a pregnancy. So the key elements of this are humor. They're doing a comparison as well. So comparing it to competitors in a way that's funny is a great way that makes a best ad of all time. And so they do a really great job at comparing to competitor in a way that's super simple as well. Really gets to the point in, under 20 words, which is really amazing. There's no other images here. It's literally just that. And that's what makes this one of the best ads of all time. It's that creativity, thinking of your product. And that's what makes this ad great. Now, ad number 2 is Porsche from 1967. And this ad reads, "It's a little too small to get laid in, but you can get laid the minute you get out." And this ad is so great because it, again, uses elements of humor, but it really knows its audience, and it uses status as one of the biggest drivers for their products, which they know that their audience, that's what they're looking for from buying a sports car, right? They want to be positioned as someone of high status, to be seen of, if you're a man, right, someone of high authority, and to do well with women, right? And that's something that people definitely look for with this car. And this has, again, really subtle messaging, really simple messaging, but it hits on their audience, and it does a great job at getting you to think, getting you to laugh, and also getting the main benefits of the actual product communicated just in a few words. Let's move on to ad number 3, which is McDonald's from 2021. And by first looking at this ad, you probably were fooled just like I was. You kind of have to look a little bit closer. It looks like he's about to kiss somebody, right? And it looks like another pair of lips, but it's actually a burger, and he's going in for a bite. Which is kind of a funny play on words here. And it uses the great slogan from McDonald's, which is "I'm loving it." And so you can see there, it's really on brand. It's also very eye-catching, so it makes you just stop and want to look at, what's going on here? Is this guy about to kiss somebody? Is it, super intimate? What is happening here? Especially from McDonald's, right? It gets your curiosity up, and then it's just a great play on words here by saying "I'm loving it," and looking at this affection about to have a kiss, but it's really a burger. Relates super well to McDonald's and its branding. And is just one of those ads that, again, has that virality, has that humor element, and does all of that without saying a single word, which is props to this ad. Does an amazing job, and that's why it's one of the best ads of all time. Let's move on to ad number 4, which is Bic from 2021. I'm sure you've seen all these ads here with Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart. And so it's perfect for candles and more. So you can see your perfect candles and more. And the best part about that, right, is obviously what more is, right? Snoop Dogg is notorious for smoking weed and being pretty big in the cannabis space and enjoying that product. And so that's essentially what that's alluding to. It's appealing to one audience in, Martha Stewart's and moms and, women or whatever who like candles and, might like this lighter for reasons such as that. And then the other demographic, which they know is, a big reason that people use Bic, is for smoking, right? Various sorts of things. And so in this case of having Snoop, again, very subtle, very simple, sparks that curiosity also by seeing these two kind of juxtaposed characters together in an ad, and then also has that audience recognition because they know there is this subset of people that use it for candles, lighting, certain things like this, and they also have this other subset that is a lot for smoking, and they have both those audiences covered in this ad, which is what makes it a great ad. Next, we have Nike from 2008 here, and another ad that has no words, And this actually wasn't even ran as an ad. It was just simply one of those guerrilla marketing type of ads that was just placed in the street and then captured later. And you can see here it has a bench and then an exact same bench with no seating, with just the Nike logo and run on it, obviously alluding to the branding of Nike to just do it and, you know, don't take a rest, continue running, continue pushing, and just a reminder of that. And so again, the key elements of this are it's very, very simple. It uses that style of guerrilla marketing, which has, again, that virality element, and it's just very creative overall, which makes it just a fantastic ad for Nike and is just super on brand. Speaking of Nike, we have Nike from 2008, which is this large billboard ad that says, "Yesterday you said tomorrow." And the key elements of this, and the biggest one that I want to iterate with this, again, it's simple, it has very few words, but the biggest thing and what makes this a great ad is that they know their audience. This is like a psychological thing that they know everybody does, right? You tell yourself you're going to do this tomorrow, you procrastinate. And so by understanding their audience that well, they can communicate to them so clearly with so few words in a way that really resonates based on Nike's branding to just do it. And that's what makes this ad so great. And they're, you know, using that a lot more in their marketing. But again, Nike has so many good ads, and this is one of their best in terms of simplicity and what makes this ad so great. Next up in the number 6 spot, we have Timex from 2022. So a more recent ad. And you can see by this one, based on that text below, right? Know the time without seeing you have 1,249 unanswered emails. Again, very, very simple. And the biggest thing about this is that they know their competitors and they're calling that out. So, you know, watch sales, right, obviously have been affected by the recent, you know, surge of smartwatches. And so obviously people are competing, right? If you have a traditional watch versus your smartwatch, you're not going to wear 2 watches at once. And there's obviously an affinity for people to wear traditional watches still. And Timex is playing into that by saying one of the main drawbacks of a smartwatch being that you have so much distraction on your wrist, including like all those unanswered emails, text messages, whatever it would be. And they're calling that out here and showcasing a clear benefit of their product in this ad being, it's just simple. It tells you the time. It looks good. That's all you need to know. And that's why this ad is so great. It really gets you thinking about, you know, why you don't like your smartwatch if you have a smartwatch and why you should potentially switch over back to a more traditional watch like Timex. And that's what makes this ad one of the best ads of all time. That creativity, knowing their competitors and knowing the benefits and how their product is positioned. Now, the 7th ad here is Dentistry Group from 2019. First glance at this ad, you're probably looking at that guy's missing tooth. And the funny thing is when you read the text, it makes a funny claim here that you otherwise would not have noticed. So why is dentistry important? Because even though he's missing an eyebrow, the first thing you notice is his smile. So you probably didn't notice that, just like I didn't notice that when I first looked at this ad. You just notice his missing tooth and how glaringly obvious that is. Literally, this guy doesn't have an eyebrow, and you never would have noticed that because you just keep looking at his tooth. And this is a great use of, again, makes you think. It really stops you. It has a clear benefit because you never really thought about that, right? You could have something else so off about you, like missing an eyebrow, but you still notice that smile. And it really is the most important thing and the first thing that you notice. So it gets you to think, showcase a clear benefit, and it has that virality because it intrigues you and it really just makes you think. I never would have notice that. That's the first thing that you notice. I can't believe I didn't notice his eyebrow missing, right? That's why that virality kind of comes in. One of the greatest ads. You can see the creativity there is amazing. Next, in the number 9 spot, we have Smile at the World from 2020. And this ad is great because it was during COVID. And so you can see here, best time ever to get braces. And she's wearing a mask, right? Which is, again, has that humor element, and it also hits on a trend, right? Obviously COVID wasn't like a trend, but everybody was wearing masks, which you could consider like a trend. And it's a great time to wear braces or get braces to get your teeth better because you're wearing this mask, nobody can see your smile, right? And obviously they know braces don't look great in your mouth. That's a big reason why a lot of people don't use braces or use something like Invisalign. And so they know, hey, let's take advantage of this right now. Let's take advantage of the fact that people are wearing their masks, and let's put a twist on that and say, this is the best time to get braces because of these masks. And they did a great job at actually playing on that and uses that humor. It takes advantage of a trend, and again, has that virality just because of how clever it is. And so I think that's the biggest point with all of these ads, is just how clever they are. That's what makes them the greatest ads of all time, and something you should try to incorporate into your brand or your ads to really have something stand out. And lastly, we have Kit Kat from 2016, another bench ad. And you'll notice KitKat's slogan is "Have a break," and so they made this KitKat bench, which perfectly looks like a normal street bench, right, with the 2 chocolate bars, and each pack of KitKats, you'll know, has 4 bars in it. So it really matches up with a bench design, and also matches up with their branding being "Have a break," because obviously you have a break, you sit down on a bench. Really perfect use of their branding and their positioning, incorporating their product into something in that more guerrilla style, as I said. You also notice there is an element of virality here because they're encouraging people to share your break with us, right? So if you see this bench, right, you might take a photo of it, you might, share it online. You also are just more likely to have that virality, again, because it's so interesting, it's so unique, and you want to share this. And this is what makes this ad so great as well. It's unique, it's clever, it's on brand, and it really just hits on what makes KitKat and how they're trying to position themselves and being thought of as that break snack, that kind of relief, treating yourself to something like a break. And there you have it. Those are the 10 best marketing ads of all time. I hope you found this valuable, and hopefully you found some elements of what makes these ads the top ads, right? And you can incorporate that into your brand or your advertising in some way. A lot of it comes down to, again, branding, being clever, and really positioning yourself and knowing your brand and what are those main psychological benefits that people are looking for, and incorporating some virality as well into your ad. Now, if you did enjoy this video, I would really appreciate it if you could smash the like button. Really helps me out in the algorithm, and also hit that subscribe button so you know what's said on any of the latest content I'm putting out around digital advertising and growing your business and brand online with ads. Now, I'll leave a link to another video you can check out here from me, and until the next one, have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll catch you soon.